Welcome to Robin's house. Today I'm working on the Festive Friends Card with Robin workshop, and I'm working on coloring today. So, in my workshop, I made these plus another card, and I wanted to just quickly remind you how to color. So I used watercolor pencils on these cards, and so I wanted to do that again for you. So I probably used Flirty Flamingo on this little card. And one thing that you do to color is you want to get some shadow available for you. And then so I cover one side and maybe one line heavy, and then I kind of lighten it up. And then I'm going to do this side also one line and one line heavy. This is I'm not telling the truth very much because this is a very small place. So what I'm going to do is this one I'm going to do much heavier and much darker because I want this to be a darker stripe. And so I am not going to relieve that pressure as much. And I'm going to go ahead and do the scarf. And so again, I'm not coloring the whole thing because I want my water brush to pull that color away. So I'm going to take my water brush now. So I've got some water in the barrel, although not that much. I'm going to chop it against my hand to make sure I feel the wetness, and I do feel some. It's not overly wet. But my aim for his hat is to have a lighter stripe and then have a darker stripe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lighter colors first. And you color the heavier side, and then if you need to get rid of some of your water, I just go on my hand and get rid of some of the water. Now I'm going to do that darker stripe, and hopefully it will come out darker. But I love the watercolor look because it looks like you painted so hard and you did such a tremendous job, and really it was just so fast. And it looks so good when it's all done. It's a little, this is a simplified card, I suppose. But the other part is his grayness. So he is a white snowman, but white isn't really white in the wild. So I don't know if you can see on there, but I added some shadow. So I wanted to show you also how to add some shadow. So that is just taking your gray and going around the edges, just where, the shadow would be, to make him round, to make him shadowed. So like the sides in my mind would be a little thicker, and then the bottom might be a little thinner. So you're not doing every inch of him or every edge of him. I'm going to just do this lighter one. And then I'm going to go over and make those lines go away until he is just got some shadow there on the sides. And it looks so cool the way that this water just takes that brush and blends everything away. And so I don't know if you can see this, but it looks so real the way he has just a little shadow around him now. So that is watercolor pencils. And for those that might prefer the look of markers, so markers kind of work the same, only different. So this one I'm going to, but they're going to be, bright right from the start. So there we go. And then we've got his little scarf on here. And then when we add that gray, so I have gray granite and I have smoky slate, and gray granite is technically lighter, but it's a little on the brown side. So you can see as I go around him to get that shadow, he's got kind of a lot of gray on there. But there is one way to kind of minimize that. And that is the blending pen. This is technically a color lifter. So let's see how we can, oops, that's not the right side I want. I like to work with the brush side. The other side is probably a little less obnoxious. But this just colors so fast. Yeah, and look at it lifting this color right off. And now he's just got a nice little shadow. So there you go. Each one has a shadow. We created it in a different way. And we could put the gray on his hat. And then I use the Wink of Stella to add, I'm not doing that now, a Wink of Stella to add some glitter to the hem. So Wink of Stella is just another, it's kind of a same idea. It's got a water barrel in there. And I just take the Wink of Stella and color the parts that should be white. I only colored the snowman once, and it's fine. You can also use the Wink of Stella to blend your pencils. So that is fun as well. But just as I don't know if it will be successful. I stamped this not with Memento ink. I recommend if you're going to color to stamp in Memento ink. So this is not. So let's have an experiment to see if we use water brush on the plain black, if it bleeds. I did this recent, but not as recent as I would have hoped. Okay, so we've got our water brush. We're water brushing. I'm usually kind of careful to not touch the sides, but I'm going to go ahead and touch the sides because I want you to see what happens when you don't use the Memento ink on your project if you're going to color. So let's see if we've got the time. It's definitely increasing that line and making it fluffy. I'm going to color a little bit more so that we have some time to see what it's doing. I'll color the gray. So we have this little striped, cute little stripe. All right, so it's not obnoxious, but it is definitely starting to bleed a little bit, and I don't think you can even see it on the TV, but this side is definitely bleeding with the ink. So Memento ink is definitely the way to go if you're going to be coloring either with markers or with so let's see if it makes a difference if we're coloring with markers. And again, I'm not being as careful to avoid the edges. I try to just avoid them because it makes sense. Give him some little pool party pants. For the markers, it doesn't seem to be as obnoxious until you do several layers of the color. So if you're going to color quick, you might be okay with a regular black, but it's starting to bleed a little bit. And then as you add more color, it'll probably bleed more. But that's just a quick and dirty of coloring with your images. So thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.